At this time of the year, it's now the first week in October, and all our crab apples have been fruiting heavily this year. I have about 3 or 4 different varieties. This is a yellow variety. This is a red variety. Look at the bucketfuls we have. So I'm going to show you what we do with these. So I'll grab a handful of each and I will show you exactly what we do. So bear in mind, today is only the 7th of October and already I'm collecting the fruit. These are the crab apples. You look at that beautiful tree, the lovely fruit there. I don't pluck them all because the customers like to see the fruit on the trees. So they're all loaded heavily with fruit. So many different types of crab apple we have. Some are red, some are yellow, some are big, some are small. I even have a Siberian crab and the berries are almost like cotoneaster berries. But while I'm talking about crab apple, I should also mention that there are many other fruiting and flowering trees, like the pyracantha, for instance. These are also loaded with seeds. I will show you everything about these. Okay, now and if you look at these gorgeous trees, these are all beautiful Chinese quince. And look at the gorgeous color on them. Look at the color. How can you not love these trees? Such beautiful autumn color. And of course they have this lovely fruit. It's not quite ripe yet. I may have to wait a couple of more weeks before I collect it and cut it up and sow the seeds. But the seed sowing principle is all the same. You look at them. Look at all these lovely fruits. So these are what will be the seeds for future plants. Okay. I'm going to let you in on some secrets about sowing seeds. This only applies to these fruiting subjects like crab apples, cotoneaster, pyracantha. I'm not talking of pine seeds or even maple seeds. All seeds will germinate well if they are fresh. Many people buy packets of seeds and sometimes they write and tell me that, oh, I bought these seeds, not from us, I should tell you, from other people, and hardly any of them have germinated. So I always like to ask them, how do you know that they are fresh? Some of these seed sellers, I'm not saying that all seed sellers are in that way inclined, they don't always sell fresh seed. The viability of the seed reduces if you store it, and if you store it incorrectly, they will become completely useless. So the seeds have to be fresh, and the fresher the seed, the more viable it is. The older the seed, the less viable. Seeds which are stored for a long time are stored in freezer conditions. They store them in freezers and then brought out again. Okay, so if you can get the seed fresh like these crab apples, so much the better. So I'm talking of fruiting seeds, apple seeds, quince, cotoneaster, pyracantha, and that sort of seed. I'm not talking of maples or pines. So what I do, as soon as I collect the fruit, I don't wait at all. I will proceed to get the seeds out. So let's cut the seeds open, and you will see in here closely, each fruit has about possibly 5 seeds. We sell these fruit as they are, then you can decide how you take the seeds out, but this is what we do with them. These are very nice varieties of crab apples, so the clones are nice. So that is half the fruit. You got 3 seeds, and the other half, let's see how many seeds there are. There should be again 3 seeds. Try not to damage the seed. So that's 5 seeds come out. I dare say there may be one more. I've sometimes found as many as 10 seeds. Okay, this is 5 seeds from this fruit. 5 seeds. And if they each germinate, then you're laughing, isn't it? I find that you get 100% success. 100%. And the seeds are ripe when they're brown like this. If the seeds are white in color, then they're not ripe. So you have to sow ripe seed. Okay, that's come out. When I started the nursery, I used to do it with my kids. My kids were 10 and 12, and we have to have great fun cutting the seeds open and sowing the seeds. That's how we earned our meager living. And each plant, when they germinate, becomes viable as a plant, and you would get 1 or 2 pounds from it. Okay, so from 2 fruit, I've got so many seeds. I don't want to do all of them, so same with the red ones. Those are the yellow ones. This is another variety. I try and keep them separate. So again, you see the same thing happens. You get 5 to 10 seeds depending on how big the fruit are. By the way, the pulp you can cook, you know. A lot of people make jams and jellies with crabapple. In England, they're very fond of doing crabapple jelly, which is used at Christmas time to eat with the roast turkey or whatever. So, in the long autumn evenings, this is a nice thing to do. Cut the fruit open and collect the seeds. So this is how you get the seeds out. All right, I won't show you many more. So once you got the seed out, you don't store the seed, you sow them straight away. And to sow the compost we used, the sowing compost is ordinary compost, nothing special. No need to use bonsai compost or whatever. So you can just fill the pots, which I'm doing now, like so. Or you can use seed trays, bonsai pots, the seed trays, fill it all. And what I do is that we put the seeds in. There's no need to put these seeds in the fridge. That is usually left for pine seeds, juniper seeds, mainly the conifer seeds. Maple seeds also you don't have to stratify. So I put the seeds in and then just put a light dusting of compost on top of it. You can put it in a plastic bag, put it in a warm position. I usually put it in the kitchen or in the greenhouse, and within 3 or 4 weeks they should germinate. So they'll come up before the end of the year. And if you keep it frost-free, they will continue to grow. It is that easy. And to show you that we are not kidding or bluffing, I'm going to take you to an area where we sow the seeds, and we've got living proof of what happens when you sow the seed. While I'm passing by, look at that for a crabapple. They're not cotoneaster or anything. It's a yellow crabapple. You can see the leaves. And the variety is Brower's Beauty. So they have lovely pink flowers and these very tiny fruits. So crabapples come in many, many different forms. So this is quite a rare one which I can collect and sow as well. So let me show you these crabapple seedlings. Look at them, they're at least 60 centimeters long. They are this year's seeds. We sowed them last October, they germinated before Christmas, and in 1 year they become 60 centimeters long. So that is how easy they are to grow. So the seeds that we sell on the nursery will produce all these seedlings. These are all crabapple seedlings. So as I said, I can remind you, if you do the same thing with your pyracantha, you see all these seeds, we should really collect them. If we don't collect them, we find that the birds come and eat them up. Well, we let the birds have some. We don't take all of them. The birds have some. And as for maple seeds, I told you we collect our own maple seeds, and this is this year's crop of maples. Thousands of maples, thousands upon thousands. How easy it is to sow. I'll talk about the maple seeds in another video, because that is the subject of another topic altogether. Because we haven't started collecting the seed, we will collect the seed within a month and then we will sow them straight away. So I hope you've learned something from this, and please remember we actually sell these fruit on the nursery, and it's only available, unfortunately, for people who live in the UK. Okay, so hope you've enjoyed that.